Ed and Lorraine Warren, a married couple of paranormal investigators and self-proclaimed demonologists, investigated thousands of supposed hauntings over the years. Many of their cases have inspired horror movies. They are the OGs, back when ghost hunting was classy and not overrun with doofy bros in cargo pants. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Ghost Adventures. In November of 1974, Ronald DeFeo was convicted of murdering 6 members of his own family at a house at 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville on Long Island, New York. When the property was purchased the following year by George and Kathy Lutz, their family experienced a variety of paranormal phenomenon, including vivid nightmares, windows and doors opening and closing on their own, and the occasional appearance of a demonic child with glowing red eyes. George Lutz also claimed to experience a change in his personality, finding he was becoming more and more like Ronald DeFeo. Dude, it's a change in your personality. It's just turning 40. Buy a Beamer. On March 6, 1976, the Warrens, along with the TV crew, investigated the house. They concluded that it was indeed occupied by malevolent spirits because of the violent incidents that occurred there years before. Jay Anson's 1977 book about the case was turned into a hit movie in 1979, which was remade with Deadpool in 2005. The movie changes most of the specific details from the actual case, but does leave the address, the backstory about the DeFeo murders, and a tidbit from Anson's book suggesting that the property was built on land where Native Americans had been brutalized. But what's the point of investigating a lot of supposedly haunted houses if you don't get your own shared movie universe? Vera Farmiga plays Lorraine, and Patrick Wilson is Ed in the Conjuring series, and so far both films have been based on actual Warren case files. The actual Lorraine Warren personally acts as a consultant on the movies. The first movie was inspired by the alleged hauntings of an 18th century farmhouse in Rhode Island by a long-dead former resident named Bathsheba Sherman. They don't name them like they used to. After an infant died in old Bathy's care, locals came to believe she had sacrificed the baby to the devil using a knitting needle. A court cleared her of any wrongdoing, but the legend persisted, because you know how small towns are with gossip. Kill one kid with a knitting needle, they never forget. In the 1970s, the home's owners, Roger and Carolyn Perrin, reported experiencing strange phenomenon there, including a cold, stinking presence in the basement, and even a violent attack on Carolyn by a vengeful spirit, using some sort of ghostly knitting needle. Though the film's haunting happens relatively quickly, the actual parents lived in the real Conjuring house for 9 years.
You know, with all that's been going on, why haven't you just moved out?
Why would you live in a haunted house for 9 years? They said they stayed so long in order to share this experience with the world, which is dumb. That's just really dumb. For the big Conjuring sequel, the filmmakers turned to an even more famous case investigated by the Warrens, the unfilled poltergeist. This spirit was originally reported at a council house in Enfield, England between 1977 to 1979. Peggy Hodgins' children claimed that furniture in the house would move on its own. A police officer said he witnessed this happen, that he also heard demonic voices in the house and saw the children levitate. The Warrens claimed to have personally witnessed these levitations. And come on, Patrick Wilson wouldn't just make that up. I mean, look at that face. That's an honest face. Other researchers over the years, though, claim that the young Hodgkin girls faked this whole thing by throwing their voices and using broom handles to bang on walls and floors when no one was looking.
Our principal characters here are all children, and children can be very ingenious pranksters.
As an adult, the real Janet Hodgkin admitted to faking some of the phenomenon, but claimed that the other incidents were totes 100% real. As for the other stuff, completely ripped off from my childhood. I mean, made up. It was all made up. The Warrens investigated so many cases they even set up their own prequels. Now that is thinking ahead. Maybe they do have freaky powers. Evil doll movie Annabelle is based on a case concerning a possessed Raggedy Ann doll that's currently on display at the Warren Occult Museum in Monroe, Connecticut. The doll was apparently purchased by a mother for her daughter in a hobby shop in 1970, who later reported that it would levitate and even try to strangle people because it's an evil doll, and that's what evil dolls do. The Warrens concluded that it was definitely possessed by a demonic spirit because they're the Warrens, and that's what the Warrens do. Ed Warren even said that while he was driving the doll to his museum for safekeeping, it tried to take control of the car's brakes and steering wheel to run them off the road, which absolutely needs to be in a Fast and the Furious movie. Director James Wan changed the doll's appearance entirely for the film to make it appear more out of time and sinister, and also to avoid a lawsuit with the Raggedy Ann people. Much scarier. The redesign worked. Crew members on the set apparently refused to be alone with the doll for extended periods of time, because Teamsters don't have time to get strangled by dolls. They're busy working. And there you have it, guys, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Now they're gonna keep making Conjuring movies until the demons that these two were fighting actually do return to Earth and take over. So what Warren cases do you want to see movies made of next? And then explain to us all why you have so much interest in the Warren files, you weirdo.